Hi, everybody. So today I wanted to, yes, I took some notes today. I wanted to talk about unhealed childhood trauma and how it manifests into our everyday lives, and how you know if you have unhealed childhood traumas. So the best telltale signs, I'm going to list them off, and I'm going to do some key points on why they're relevant and why they stand out and what makes them a part of your childhood trauma. Now, I had seen a post this morning on Facebook, and that post that was on Facebook this morning, it triggered me to actually make this video today, because I feel like the more awareness we have based on our childhood traumas that we may not even be aware of, the better chances of us being able to actually navigate through them and work on healing, the healing process of it. I will say this though, the healing process for your inner child is a very delicate and painful process. It is not something that is going to just take 5 minutes of your time and you're all better. It's something that takes time, okay? You'll have to excuse me because I am at home with my son. He is going to need me, so there are going to be moments where I'm going to have to pause. So I may have to pause the video a few times to tend to my son, so it may be a little bit off. So you'll have to excuse that. I'm sorry in advance. So let's just get right into it, shall we? So, fixing other people. When you have unhealed childhood traumas, you have a tendency to emit an energy out that attracts broken individuals. And it's because we ourselves are so broken that we want to see other people not broken, because we know how it feels to be in that space, that empty space of just pain, you know? And so when we see somebody that's going through difficult times, we tend to attract ourselves to those individuals because we ourselves have been through so much trauma that we know that even if it's something small for them that they're going through, we know that we can help them get through it. And so that brings me into the next topic on it, which is people pleasing. So what happens is we tend to put our stuff on the back burner and we forget it's there. We forget all about our own personal TLC, taking care of ourselves, nurturing ourselves, loving ourselves, all of those things for personal growth and moving forward, right? We forget those things because in wanting to be a people pleaser, in wanting to fix other people, we want to see others feel comfortable so that we can refrain from bringing in that tension. Because anytime we feel a tension, like a really nasty tension built up due to us not putting them first, we automatically default into this place of, well, what am I doing wrong? And we automatically blame ourselves for it when we know that that's not the case. It's not up to you or me to make somebody happy. Happiness, like I've stated in the past, is an internal tool that needs to be developed within you. Only you have the tools to make you happy. So while we go around doing our people pleasing and all of that other stuff, we also forget that, first of all, that person, chances are they're going to start taking advantage of the fact that you're putting them before yourself. And it becomes a comfort thing. And then it becomes programmed. And then it becomes normalized. And then the next thing you know, you're resentful towards the individual that you have people pleased. And now you are angry. You're upset because you're like, well, no, like this person's doing so well and I've given all of this to them, but I'm getting nothing in return. We have a tendency to give. We let people take and we run ourselves empty and we literally burn our candles at both ends, and then we literally ask ourselves why. Well, it's because we're broken and we're just looking to fix that brokenness by fixing other people. We think that by fixing other people, it's going to help us fix ourselves. And you know what? I'm guilty of it myself, because I mean, when I started this page, those were my intentions. I figured if I could get out there and start fixing other people, that it would automatically help me fix myself. While it does help open the doors to see a bigger perspective for myself, it doesn't fix me. It helps the process. It helps aid the process, sure. but I do still need to put the footwork in to help myself. And if I'm just continuously putting footwork in to help other people, I'm still leaving myself dry at the end, right? So that brings me into my next topic of codependency. We tend to strap ourselves to codependency because we don't feel strong enough or capable of the independence due to that lack of self-worth. We lack that self-worth because we are so busy omitting out so much of our energy to other people and not getting that energy back that we don't feel full. Our cup is not full. So we hold on to things in hopes that maybe one day that person will fill our cup. So codependency can range from material, it can range from mental, emotional, physical, all of that, right? Codependency is such a broad thing. And the more you understand how codependency works, the better of an understanding you might have in regards to yourself, whether or not you may have codependent traits that you carry that prevent your growth. Moving on to the next one, which is external validation. With external validation, we are letting other people dictate our lives for us. We are afraid of doing something wrong. We seek approval from other people so that we don't get the backlash for making our own choices, because we're afraid if we make these choices that they're going to be the wrong choices and that we're going to sit there and live in this bad gunky place based on other people's judgments towards what it is that we have decided for ourselves. When it comes to letting other people dictate our lives for us, we need to also understand that we are giving them our power. We're giving our power away. Therefore, it is going to put you in a place of depression. You are going to be so resentful. You are going to be upset. You're going to feel lost and confused because you are literally, I'm going to backtrack into the topic of codependency. You are literally becoming codependent on somebody else to dictate how your life is going to go for you because you're too afraid to make the choices for yourself. Which then brings me into living on high alert. Living on high alert, you always have this feeling of somebody is out to get you. You're always living on the edge of this place of survival programming where you go into survival mode. We tend to push people away because of that survival mode tactic, that program, based on whatever it is that we carried when we were little. We carried it out into our adulthood, and it has become a part of our default programming whenever times get tough. When times get tough, we put up a wall and we push people away and we go into a fight or flight mentality. And that is not healthy for anybody to be in that place. But we're fearful of the possibility of the worst possible thing happening. And that's what brings in anxiety. A lot of people are triggered with their post-traumatic stress disorder with this. All sorts of things come with living on high alert. And I myself live on high alert. Hence the reason why I had done a video about modern slavery abuse, and I used my mom as an example, but then I ended up having to delete that video based on the fear of my own safety. And that is me living on high alert through my default programming of my childhood trauma. And this is all stuff that I am working through and working on. And I feel if I can get this stuff out to you guys, the more knowledge that you guys have, the better chance of you guys being able to navigate through these things and heal yourself from it and break those cycles. Break the cycles. Tides of change, breaking cycles. That's what this is all about, right? Break the cycles of abuse. There are so many different levels of abuse that we have gone through in our lives. And you know what? I don't think there is one person that is exempt from facing some form of abuse in their life. So I think that is safe to say that abuse, as much as it is a taboo topic to talk about, it really needs to be talked about because absolutely everybody is affected by abuse in some way, shape, or form. Okay, so I'm going to go into the next one, which is my fear of abandonment. So this one can be a little tricky because not everybody is going to have a fear of abandonment. I myself have that fear of abandonment because of my walk of life, my parents leaving and being raised in the system, social services, foster homes, group homes, all of that stuff. I have that background where my default programming is that abandonment issues, where I feel like absolutely everything that comes into my life is just going to leave my life. And that is a part of my programming, because the chances of your life, your life has shown you through your traumas that this is what my own personal stance on it is nothing lasts forever, and everyone always leaves you at the end of the day, and you're always looking for a way out. In doing that, like so, with living on high alert, having abandonment issues, you also suffer with the energy of pushing other people away from you. You push other people away from you before the connection has even began, because you're so afraid that by letting them in, you're just going to get hurt. The moment that you let somebody in, you're gonna get hurt. And that is exactly how we feel, right? We're afraid everybody in our life is just going to leave, period. Give me 1 second.
Mom, if we're going in our house.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later, okay, honey?
Yeah, I want to see that house you just showed me last night.
And we will do tomorrow. We will do it later, but you gotta let me finish this, Hunter. You know that. We've talked about this. Don't interrupt. Don't be rude. Let me finish this, okay? I love you. Okay.
Mom,
1 second.
I want to see the house.
Hi, sorry about that. Sorry, my son's excited. We've been looking at a house, so he wants to see it. Anyways, so abandonment. So I think I've touched base enough on that one. So we're going to go into deprioritizing our needs. So this kind of goes hand in hand with the topics that I have previously just discussed. So it goes with people pleasing. We constantly question and doubt our own capabilities and choices. So we withdraw from the choices that we have made, and then it makes it difficult for us to complete any projects that we have, or building any solid foundations, because we are constantly doubting our capabilities. We are constantly doubting our self-worth. We are constantly doubting whether or not we are capable of doing something for ourselves. And that brings us into the codependency, that brings you into that high alert, it brings you into all of those things. And then with that being said, brings you into that need to prove to yourself, that constant need of self-approval, okay? Proving to yourself that you are capable of doing something, only to not be able to do it in the end, because you default into that deprioritizing your own needs, which prevents you from actually completing said goal or building that steady, solid foundation that you have been trying to manifest. And then you tolerate abusive behaviors of all sorts, because your self-worth is questioned. You're constantly deprioritizing your foundations. So say for example, a narcissist, which is also what you attract in, is narcissistic energies because of these programs. Narcissists, for example, they will go out of their way. They see you as a beacon. Okay, narcissists feel like us as empaths, those of us that have gone through so much trauma, because most of us that have gone through these traumas are empaths. And if you don't know what an empath is, I recommend looking it up. I'm sure you do. It's a very known thing that people talk about on a regular basis. But we empaths, we tend to get attacked a lot. And we empaths usually come from a very traumatic walk of life, hence the reason why we carry so much emotion in us, because we know what it feels like to be in that kind of pain, period. So we attract narcissists, and because we are people pleasers, and because we think that we can fix other people, we automatically think that we can please the narcissist and fix them. But the thing is a narcissist cannot be fixed. And that is a medical thing. I'm not going to go into that. I'm not a doctor. I am not a medical professional anyway, so I'm not going to touch base on that. But what I am going to say is that when you have unhealed childhood traumas that you suffer from, you attract those types of people. You will attract abusive behaviors of all forms, whether it be race, whether it be material finance, whether it be domestic violence, whether it be modern slavery. You know, the list goes on. Sexual abuse. There's so many different forms of abuse, psychological abuse, the list goes on. Like, it's such a huge list of abuse. It's horrible. But we attract that in. We attract that in because we lack that self-worth, because we lack the capability of being able to do things for ourselves without having somebody else approve it for us. We lack the capability of moving forward for ourselves, period. Which brings me into my next one, which is boundaries. Boundaries, people. We have such a hard time setting boundaries with other people because of our entire view on life. It has been altered. We've been altered due to the traumas that we've endured, setting the motion of normal behavior when it comes to setting boundaries, when it comes to bringing people in, letting people overstep. And I've talked about this with protecting my garden and everything else. Like, your life is your garden, and you have a gate that you can let people in, or you can lock that gate and people can stand outside and observe, but they have no place in your garden. What you let into your garden is on your own accord, and that is a part of your boundaries. Are you going to let them stomp on those flowers that you've grown for 40 years? Are you going to let them rip that tree out that you planted 10 years ago that's been fruitful and giving you the apples to help you grow? Or are you going to say, you know what? No. You don't deserve my energy. You don't deserve my time. You can stay outside of the fence, right? That's a part of boundaries. And we lack those things when we are still trying to navigate through unhealed trauma. And it's painful, it sucks, but we are literally a beacon because of it. So with all of these things, it's like, really pay attention to what it is that you are omitting out as far as your energy is going. Do you have unhealed childhood traumas? Has anything on this list triggered you? Has anything on this list resonated with you? Really inspect those things. I'm gonna do another video eventually. I'm still navigating through a lot of my childhood traumas, so I'm not gonna be making a video yet based on how you can navigate through it until I feel confident enough to be able to express to you guys, this is how I went through it. I'll give you guys the tools that I use, and hopefully one or two or all of those tools can help you. So that's all I wanted to share with you guys today. I hope you guys all have a wonderful weekend, and stay safe out there. If you guys are traveling or anything, please be safe on your travels. Stay healthy, stay alive, be happy, be vibrant, and really just embrace these times, you guys. We are in some heavy energy right now. Mercury retrograde just started 4 days ago, so really cross your T's, dot your I's. Do not make any hasty decisions right now, unless you know 100% it is what you want and you have been working very hard at it, and you know without a doubt that it is beneficial for yourself. All right, you guys, so thank you for watching. I'm sorry it turned out to be such a long video. I love you guys, and stay tuned. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.